So did you know from the ages of 27 to 33 and 51 to 54, the universe forces you to look from within. It forces you to step in your energy. It's called the Saturn Uranus stages of your life. So welcome to my channel. It's Annie, your psychic limitless mindset manifestation coach. So there's a key thing that I want you guys to all take away, because recently, I don't know what it is, but the universe has been placing a lot of people on my pathway who are entering into that Saturn Uranus stage of their life, which is so key, so monumental turning point of their lives, that I'm like, oh wow, okay, I know why you've placed this person on my pathway during this period, because you want me to guide them with X, Y, and Z. Got it? So during that time period, guys, what happens is, if you don't fully step into your energy before the age of, let's say, 27, then what happens is a series of events, a series of situations will happen to you that's going to force you to look from within. That means stepping into more of your authentic you, yourself, your energy. Now, the reason why the universe does that is you could almost call it like a reset button. That's what it is. So I remember when I first stepped in, I was 27, I was in New York, and a whole different reset happened to me. I was like, yo, what am I doing? Like, why am I picking this up? Like, there was a certain shift in my life. So the universe placed me in New York, and that shifted my energy so much. I accelerated more in my ability. The universe saw more of it. Then I started to help a lot of people. I was fast-tracked by the universe because I entered into that phase of my life. Now, you're probably wondering, why did that not happen earlier on? Well, it could be because of other limiting beliefs, people around me. For me particularly, it was my family. You know, this is like, you shouldn't be doing this. So a lot of limiting factors. But the universe placed me in a position where I had to force me to become who I'm meant to be. So when I was in New York, I was 27, and I started picking up so much random stuff. I came across certain soulmates on my pathway, and it triggered something from within me. I was like, wow, this person has shifted something so spiritual inside of me, and I was meant to meet certain people. So during that time period, nothing is a coincidence, nothing at all. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because since the launch of this YouTube channel, I've had a lot of people come to me and they're in that Saturn Uranus period of their life. I'm like, whoa, you know? And I say to the universe and the higher consciousness, I'm like, okay, so what do you want me to tell thee? What do you want me to, how do you want me to guide? And blah, 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 all comes out. Now, when it comes to real connections in terms of love, it happens mostly during that period. You know, sometimes you'll come across certain soulmates in the romantic sense that causes a shift within you spiritually. Now, when you take a form of navigation, insight, guidance, particularly during those periods of your lives, it's a form of fast track. It helps you understand who you actually are, particularly if you've been brought up where you've been influenced by family or friends, or you've been in, you know, relationships that didn't serve you. Using that time period and using more of wisdom, guidance, insight, it's going to help you fast track a lot more. So I recently had a client, and she's about 36, but then Spirit took me back to the age of 29, and I was like, there is a significant person that you met. And I just pulled the random name, and she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, it didn't really work out. I said, the reason why it didn't really work out is because you didn't fully embed yourself and took advantage of that time period in your life, which is called the Saturn Uranus, which is the energy from the universe that is forcing you to look from within. So sometimes, potentially, you can miss out on such connections during that period of your life. So I just recently connected with a client, a young lady from New York, she's from the Bronx, and it was the first time she's having a reading. I was like, oh, wow, okay. And she's 27. And as I was giving the reading, it was something that she never expected. In fact, the universe, my higher consciousness, my guides, regressed me back to when she was a Pacific age. And I was like, what happened at this age? And she's like, she wanted to be a singer. And then I said, right, you're now in the best energetic place of your life, because during this period, the energy for everyone during the Saturn Uranus is so heightened. very much heightened. So we want to take advantage and make use of the energy from that universe that's going to help us fulfill our soul agenda. Now, a strange thing with this client, one, she never had a reading, and two, she was connected to another client of mine of whom I picked up. I had no awareness of this. You know, in his reading, all I said was, it's a niece based in Atlanta. Who is she? And he's like, oh yeah, I do have a niece. It was that person that I just connected to today. So there's always a link and there's always a bigger picture. There is no such thing as a coincidence, ever, particularly during your Saturn Uranus stages of your life. But you know, sometimes the saddest thing for me is I've come across certain people where they've connected with a connection during that time period. They didn't fully utilize the energy for their inner growth to fast track themselves, and potentially they lose out on that connection. I mean, that's just really heartbreaking. Like, wow. Now you're probably wondering, why are people not utilizing this energy? Why do people not know about this? Well, you know, I asked my higher guides and I asked them, I said, why are people not tapping into this? And one of the things that came back to me, it's down to your spiritual evolution. It's down to how fast you spiritually evolve from within, that you utilize such energy at certain periods of your life to your fullest potential. Because so often we can get so distracted and delayed around 3D circumstances around us. So that could be family, it could be friends, it could be certain people that you come across. And they cause such a distraction that it tears you away from the path that you're meant to be on. That's why I always say to people, go more 5-dimensional, go more living inside out, really connect from within, and you're going to reap the benefits of particular timelines in your life and amplify that energy even more. So I came across this video on TikTok, and this gentleman was talking about how a lot of relationships tend to break off before someone hits the age of 30. Well, that is true, particularly marriages as well. Why? Because people are not taking fully advantage of the authentic energy. You see, if you haven't grasped your authentic energy from a very young age, right? The ages from 27 to 33 in particular, and 51 to 54, the universe forces you and says, right, it's like giving you a second chance. Come on, we're going to give you a second chance. We're going to amplify this energy for you. Let's see how much you make use of it. And it's like I said to my guides before, why are people not taking advantage of it? Well, it's lack of knowledge, and two, down to their spiritual evolution. So in a nutshell, if you are in the ages of 27 to 33 and 51 to 54, really take advantage of that amplified energy, where the universe is forcing you to step more into your authentic energy, more about you as a person. Get behind that inner work, get behind that shadow work, really fast track yourself so you don't miss out on potential opportunities that are meant and destined for you. Manifestation is a tool that we can use, but if you use it the right way, particularly during those time periods of your life, I guarantee it's going to be a lot more amplified, a lot more fast-tracked, and a lot more abundant. So when you're ready to learn more, head over to my website here below, and don't forget to check out my other videos on my channel here, and do subscribe, guys, because the more you subscribe, the more YouTube can push out the content and I can keep this channel going. But until then, I'll see you soon.